Loved the movie.
Good.
I thought it was so much fun.
Yes.
I mean, I grew up on the Jurassic Park films, very close to the same age as you are, so it's like... For you, I love the story that you told during the press conference about how your father said this is cinematic history, so we're going to take you to see this one a little earlier.
Yeah.
Is there a moment from the original that really was like the most awe-inspiring for you the first time you saw it?
Well, you know, do you remember Laura Dern's expression the first time she sees a dinosaur? She like stands up in the
grabs his hat.
Yeah, and she like stands up in the Jeep and she's just like like she just has this expression of just total wonder and shock. I think that's was my expression the entire time seeing the movie. It's just when you watch that movie again, which I've seen, you know, I've watched that movie so many times. It was on TV last night, actually.
It's been on reruns.
Yeah, I was like,
all three of
let's
them.
watch it. Yeah. And it was so funny. I was like, oh my gosh, what a coincidence! Jurassic Park is on, and my husband was like, I think this might be intentional. But it's like that film. I only caught half of it last night. I'm wanting to watch the first half tonight. Totally going to. I mean, it's like moment after moment of just unexpected, wish fulfilling brilliance. Gosh, there's just so many moments from that film.
And now, how does it feel to be part of that franchise now? I mean,
crazy.
Part of a franchise that your father, who was also huge, says is cinematic history.
Yes.
So that has to be an honor.
I mean, it's completely an honor, and the thing that I just am so damn grateful for is that the movie is good. Yeah. Because that would be the worst.
Yes.
and that's I think amongst a million other, you know, things, it's one of the main reasons I think why Colin was hired to direct this, because his pure love of the original film and his ability to actually articulate what was so great about the film, and therefore, you know, why Jurassic World needs to kind of enter the, you know, this storytelling mythology at the point that it does is I think the reason why it works. I mean, isn't he a good director? Yeah. And did you talk to him?
Yeah, great to talk to.
He's unbelievable, right?
So smart, and I mean, he has. You can see the gears turning.
Yeah. There were so many kind of things about doing this movie that was perfect. I mean, one of them, of course, was like the chance to actually like be in this film. Yeah. But also getting to see Chris Pratt be in a movie right on the precipice of his career blowing up, because we saw Guardians of the Galaxy, like a lot of the cast and crew, we all went out together the last night of shooting. and when because while we were shooting the movie, all of us were looking at each other constantly saying, whoa, this guy is no joke.
Yeah.
And I mean, my thing was I was basically running a campaign for, you know, like a Chris Pratt for president. Like, I just think he can do anything. And he'll save us all. But so getting to see him in that moment was such a beautiful. I mean, it was just such a beautiful thing to kind of just for all of us to truly fall in love with this human being who then got shortly thereafter kind of catapulted into movie stardom. Was amazing. And then the other thing that was such a gift was getting to see this and witness this moment for Colin, and to see someone who had only done one other movie. I mean, he got his DGA card on this film 2 weeks into shooting.
Crazy.
2 weeks into shooting.
For this magnitude.
I mean, I've had my DGA card for years. Like 2 weeks into shooting, he comes up to me. He's like, Bryce, could I ask a big favor of you? And I was like, yeah, sure, anything. And he said, I'm getting my DGA card. Do you think your dad would mind signing my card? I was like, excuse me? You're 2 weeks into shooting Jurassic World.
You don't have it yet?
What? and the fact that, like, that worked, I mean, beyond worked.
That's crazy.
Steven Spielberg, man, knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he does.
He really, 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 really does.
Now, when you're filming this movie, while you're filming, what was one of the scenes that was most awe-inspiring when you're even doing it?
I mean, I would say the filming of kind of that final sequence was amazing because it was several weeks of night shooting. And when you night shoot, you get really close to the people that you're working with because you're all vampires. You know, you don't see any other human beings because when everyone else is awake, you're asleep. And I always love night shooting. It's really, really, really fun and bonding, and always the weather is cooperates a little bit more, and there's something kind of like, I don't know, rebellious about it. It's like we're staying up all night long.
Slumber party.
It feels like a slumber party, yeah. So it was basically like a several week slumber party where we were also happening to kind of like run from dinosaurs. So I loved getting to do all of that because it also felt really epic. You know, it felt so epic, kind of like with the flare and, you know, the huge dinosaur fight. And I mean, it really felt like we were making a Jurassic film at that point. But another great day was the scene that was released a little while ago where I meet Chris at his bungalow. That day was beautiful. It was one of those like perfect days of shooting, and we were right by a lake, and it was in Hawaii, and it was so picturesque, and there was a dock, and I just remember kind of walking out and just being like, oh, this is just so stunning. And then I look out on the water, and there's a fin that goes by, and I panicked, and Chris came out, and Chris was like, oh yeah, there are a couple sharks in this lake. I was like, there are sharks
in the lake?
In this lake? Why are there sharks in a lake? And apparently these sharks got like trapped in this lake. I mean, it's not man-made.
Yeah.
Years and years and years ago, and had bred, and
that's crazy.
It's this beautiful lake. Like, I was ready to take a dip. I couldn't believe it. So that was very memorable.
Wow. Now, why do you think there's been so much talk about your heels?
Because
can't get away from it. I feel like.
Who the hell chooses to run in heels in the jungle? I think people are just trying to like understand the insanity.
I'm like, it makes sense for her character. She would be wearing them earlier. Yes. She's not going to change in the middle of a scene.
Right. What, should she be barefoot or something?
Because that would be worse.
I mean, when my mom watched it, she watched it in Paris at the Paris premiere with me, which was so fun. And she kept like grabbing my arm and panicking during scenes when there were no dinosaurs. And I was like, why is she panicking? And then I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, anytime I'm running in heels, she's having a panic attack. Yeah, she would always be like, and I was like, Mom, it's okay. I'm here. You know, I didn't get any injuries. I'm okay. So I think that was something kind of out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Now, has your dad seen the film yet, or is he gonna do one of these?
My husband and my dad, neither one of them have seen the film, and I'm so excited. The only two people in my life who've seen it is my mom and one of my best friends, who's the godfather of my kids. This guy Josh Gad. Do you know who Josh Gad is? Yeah. So Josh shot. He came all the way from London, where he's shooting Beauty and the Beast, to the premiere in Paris, which was so cool of him.
Now, I know you said you're not ready for your kids to see it just yet. Have they seen any of the first one, or did they do any set visit or anything?
Oh yeah, they came to the set and all of that.
But they're no real dinosaurs to scare them away.
Right. But my son, who's 8, it's like that's kind of, he's the one in question.
Yeah, it's close. Because I was 10, I think, when I saw the first one.
It's really, really close. And for instance, like Colin's son Nolan has seen the movie, and he's a little bit younger than Theo, and he was loving it. And so I was kind of like, oh man, you know, should we? And so my husband needs to see it, and we'll need to talk about it. But I actually haven't even like expressed this to my husband yet. Because we've been doing like the world tour, and so I haven't been home for the last couple of weeks, and Theo said to me, he was like, oh, I I saw the trailer because he's got this moment where he's in the background at the petting zoo scene, and you can see it in the trailer, where he hugs the dinosaur, and he said, I saw the trailer, and I was like, okay, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, all right, no, that's okay, and I was like, that's so funny. He said, and then Dad showed me Jurassic Park. I was like, excuse me?
He did what?
And Seth said he showed him. I was like, and he said, I got to see so much of it. So I was like, okay, maybe he fast forwarded past certain parts. And then I asked him, he said, yeah, I just showed him the beginning.
The nice parts.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. But part of me was like, why wouldn't you wait for me? This is like, I need to have that
Family
moment.
bonding.
Yeah, but he was super excited. I mean, one of the things that happened when we had kids was, he just said, one of the things that he was most excited about is like all the movies that we loved from our childhood, introducing them to our kids.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So he did.
Awesome.
But it's okay. I still love him.
As you should.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank
Very
you.
nice to
Thank
meet you.